We're talking to Courtney Thorne-Smith, who recently came into the news because of her 1997 appearance on Conan alongside the late, great Norm Macdonald. People resurfaced that clip and the way that everything went off the rails, and it went viral.
Again,
yes.
Yes, it's always been it's just a classic Norm Macdonald clip. He's so funny.
It is, and it builds really perfectly. It's like a comedy masterclass. But so how did that feel? I mean, you said you just watched it again this morning. How did it feel watching it?
It was so much fun to watch it. I remembered it as being great fun. And I remembered, normally after a talk show appearance, it's kind of like, was it okay? I don't know. It was fine. You know what I mean? But I remember just having so much fun because I'd just been out there laughing.
Right.
And then people would say, was that okay for you? Was that okay? And I thought, to me, watching it, I thought I just looked like someone who was having a wonderful time. He was making me laugh so hard. Conan was
perfect.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, I authentically was having a great time. I mean, so I thought, so interesting that people say, and Conan, of course, is like, are you okay? Are you okay? I was like, did you not see me? I was laughing so hard. I was crying. I couldn't even breathe. I just thought and I watched it afterwards. And also I've seen him over the years. I'll run into him and they'll check him because maybe a show had just been on. But I watched it and I thought, I was there with Andy and Norm and Conan. And I thought, what a heavenly place to sit. Like, if someone said you get to have dinner with those three guys, you'd say, are you kidding? And you would expect to just sit there and laugh. You wouldn't expect to have deep conversations. You wouldn't expect to get a word in edgewise, but it would be delightful to just sit and laugh. And that's how it felt for me.
And that's exactly what happened.
Exactly
well, I think that's what people are responding to is you weren't able to get a word in. It was just, Norm was a steamroller and he was,
The second there was a pause, I think after a while, it seemed like you and Conan were kind of like, he's coming back in 3.2 seconds and go. And he just kept interrupting. Had you met him prior to that taping that night?
I don't think so.
Right. I almost think, in a way, it was like, I almost felt like he was trying to flirt with you on camera is that a crazy thought? Just that he was... I think he was trying to impress
you. It was his mating ritual.
Well, I hadn't remembered until I watched it again. He said in the beginning they had a crush on me from the Tom Snyder show, which is also hilarious. So it started off on this lovely note. I mean, it's not going to get much better than that.
He suckered you in with that, and then it was like...
I don't mind being teased. That's how my family communicates.
Right.
That's how my a group of girlfriends I've been friends with for 30 years. To me, like a generous, loving tease. Now, if he was saying something mean about me, it would have felt differently, but he wasn't.
No, not at all.
It was just funny and light.
Well, you were a guest on Late Night 6 times. So this was somewhere in the middle there, which made me happy, too, because I was like, okay, at least you had some other normal appearances on the show as well.
Where you got to talk.
Where you were allowed to talk. Yes.
Be interviewed.
It wouldn't have bothered me, though, because... like I said, talk shows. It's this very strange thing where you have to talk to a pre-interviewer and you have these set stories and the host sets you up. And Conan's so good at this because even though it's set up, you still feel like you're having a conversation. When Norm started going, it just felt like a relief to me. It was like, oh, great. Especially when we were talking about chairman of the board because, that was not, say, a project of great pride for me. And I had to promote it. And I think I was there to promote it. But Conan started with Melrose Place because he probably thought that was more interesting and then went into chairman of the board. And I was so happy when Norm took it and ran with it because I didn't know what to say. Like, it's one of those things, it read as funny. I had high hopes for it. I did it. Right. The experience wasn't great. And I thought, this is not going to be what I'd hoped. Like, you thought, you never know, this could be amazing.
I'm sure that happens a lot. Where it's just, there's so many levels at which things can go wrong. And, even in editing.
Yes. And look, granted, you're doing Carrot Top's first movie. You might say, you might have had an idea. But, you also don't know. Like, Courtney Cox did The Pet Detective. And, that was with a relatively unknown Jim Carrey. And that turned out amazingly. So I thought, you never know. But I should have thought, that probably doesn't happen twice in a row.
In the same year. Probably something... You finished filming like a year earlier, so you were like, "Oh my God, I did that movie. I've got to talk about it now. I forgot I did it."
Yes, I think I kind of hoped it would kind of fade away. And then they said, you have this in your contract. You have to go promote it. So I went on Conan, who's a very safe place for me. And like I said, he's my he was my favorite host. I felt the most comfortable there.
And it was 1 a.m, so there was no pressure.
It was 1 a.m. Well, the whole show felt, you know him. He's so lovely as a person, and he's so irreverent. And I thought, well, I can just go in here and have a nice time at least, and then I'll be done. I'll do my duty. And then Norm started, and it was just a gift. It was just great. You do it. You do it. Rock on. And I got to just sit there and laugh. I was beside myself. I was so happy.
That's great.
And he did really get word out on the movie.
I know. I was going to say, it was probably the best promotion that the movie got.
Well, it wasn't really. It wasn't great promotion, but the movie wasn't going to sink or swim based on promotion or not. It was just, it was going to sink is the truth of what was going to happen. And but I got to have a really fun talk show appearance, and it happened once before. I did the Tonight Show, and I was talking about my sister's wedding, and I did a bit about my dad telling a joke as we were walking down the aisle, and Don Rickles was there, and Don Rickles started riffing on my dad being insane and why was he at the wedding? Shouldn't he have been in a home? And he just went off on my dad, and people said, "Was your dad upset?" I was like, "Was my dad upset?" It was a highlight of his life. He never stopped talking about it. Don Rickles teased him. He was beside himself. So we both got to be teased by comedians we really admire.
That's great.
So were you already a fan of Norm's, or were you aware of Norm at all?
I was a fan. I'm a comedy nerd. I always have been. So
great.
I was a big fan going in. So it was fun to just be there and sit next to him, and thrilled to have him take over my interview.
Get the Norm treatment.
Yeah.
That was the tail end of him hosting Weekend Update, because I think he left the show SNL later that year. So it timed out nicely. And he was riding that wave of, being the Weekend Update host, which was
where he was brilliant, obviously.
Great. So a lot of times I think he'd be like a last minute booking sometimes, because he'd be in the building, and it's just like that. Conan was mentioning this, that if someone dropped out or something, you can get Norm down, which is like usually a step up sometimes, wow, you have Norm coming in. And a lot of times Conan had no idea what he was going to say or do, which made it all exciting.
And he could trust him, right? He knew it was going to be funny. He knew it was going to be interesting. Well, also, don't you think, I feel like he works on a different time frame than the rest of us.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's one of the great things. His timing is so funny. And when you said, in the interview with me and Conan and him, he was like, there'd be a pause, and then there'd be like, he would come in at just the end of the pause. Like, his timing was so extraordinary that you never knew when you were talking to him when the break was going to be, when the punchline was going to be, and you don't care. You just kind of go. And he did, I saw him on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Yeah.
Right.
I felt the same way. I thought, he's just having a lovely time. He's just in the moment, in his own world, his own time, having a wonderful time. He doesn't seem nervous. He doesn't seem like he has to perform.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. He'd take over and change the timing of whatever was going on, and kind of turn it in. You're right, to Norm time.
Norm time.
Yes.
And you were literally kind of had to just be in his thrall and go along for the ride. And he would always just, stick the landing. It was always great.
Because he was so interesting. Like, it wasn't, I didn't feel like I was fighting for stage time. It was like he was talking and everything stopped, and we all just stopped and looked at him until he was done, because it was the most interesting thing in the room.
Yeah.
Right? Luckily I didn't think, he's taking my time, I need to compete. It didn't even occur to me. I just thought, oh my God, Norm Macdonald is talking.
Right.
This is amazing.
And I don't remember any other example on late night where he would just kind of take over like that during someone else's interview. It was just...
Yeah, I wonder if he felt bad after that.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think but like as I was saying, when they saw the shot, it had all of us in it.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, Norm, me, and Conan. Yep. So it was like we're all there together, hanging almost like we were a panel, and we were all there together.
Well, and I love, you can really see that Conan doesn't know what's coming. I mean, and I know Conan loves that too, when things get derailed, and he's like, all right, we're throwing the note cards out, and now we're just following this new thread. But yeah, you can really see it, the joy that he's like, what's about to come out, and how am I going to react to that?
Well, and I think the reason that chairman of the board final joke is so memorable is because Conan teased it up. Like, he goes, what's the name of the movie? And you're like, chairman of the board. And then he just turns around and goes, do something with that, you freak. Like,
what's the movie going to be called?
Really? I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne-Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for Courtney.
There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
Thinking of Richard, thinking of Wayne, obviously, Norm recently, it's like, I remember growing up and asking, I grew up Catholic, I asked the priest, I said, does God have a sense of humor? Because I had jokes about Catholicism and all that. Yeah. Of course God has a sense of humor. And in my mind, I'm like, if God really had a sense of humor, if a comic dies, they should be allowed from wherever they are to have one tweet or something a week that we all have access to. Just waiting okay, I can't wait for that weekly tweet. What is it going to be? What's the topic?
I think of that with Norm a great deal because I think he, I really enjoyed listening to him. Yeah, just listening.
Did you gig with him quite a bit?
No, I only knew him. I knew him from just hanging out. He was a fun guy to listen to talk.
Right. I did a lot of gigs at the Factory with him. He had that era after SNL, and I was there, and he was always in his hockey shirt, and he's just kind, but one of those people that you popped in the room, you wanted to know what he was going to come up with.
Yeah.
I heard the funniest story. We can cut this from the podcast, so it'll just be between us. But I heard the funniest story years ago. So right around the time that MySpace, and stories about Norm, you just want to absorb them because they're always so funny. And as funny as he was on shows and stuff, he was just funny like that all the time, evidently, out in the world. Yeah. So he, years ago, when MySpace was a big deal, and you put all your money on it, I remember you sold your house and you put everything.
Do as I do.
Do as I do.
I'm sleeping in the alley tonight outside the theater.
So Conan parked my car when I got here. So MySpace was a big thing, and the first person to really monetize it or figure out a way to use it to benefit their career was the comedian Dane Cook, who's fine. I don't know the guy at all, and he's fine. But he had really kind of made a name for himself by getting followers on MySpace. So I remember Sudeikis told me that he was going up to 30 Rock one day to just rehearse on SNL or something, and he sees Norm downstairs, and Norm says, hey, Jason, who's hosting the show this week there? And Sudeikis goes, it's Dane Cook. And Norm goes, oh, yeah, that guy's a genius. And Sudeikis goes, oh, yeah? And he goes, no, a computer genius. That's such a funny joke. That's so funny. He just...
Okay, and finally next Thursday, Americans everywhere will celebrate the holiday of Thanksgiving, or as turkeys refer to it, Murder Day.
I got a list of things that I'm thankful for. Every year I make them on the day before Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I can make a little speech,
Right.
And I like if you'll have me to read my list.
Yeah, I'm going to not even interrupt you. You take your time.
Well, firstly, I'm thankful for the fine ladies who live across this country and leave pies on their windowsills, so an old chunk of coal like me might have a meal from time to time. I'm thankful for all of my 5 children, especially the one that I like. I'm thankful for the simple things in life, like bread. Although I've never tried it myself, I hear it's quite good. I'm very thankful for the brave man who pulled me from a burning building last April and unfortunately perished in the process. I'll never forget him, you know. I don't remember his name, but I think he had a mustache.
Jesus, Lord.
Of course, I'm thankful for being able to do stand-up comedy for a living, you know. There's nothing more gratifying than to step on a stage before a quiet crowd and with my comedy slowly turn them into an unruly mob. I'm thankful for women, the greatest creatures on earth, because without women, Dennis, there would be no cookies.
I'm thankful for women.
Oh, there you go.
The greatest creatures on earth.
That's all right. We'll get behind that one.
I think women are more intelligent than men. Also, Conan, without women, there would be no cookies.
I'm glad that this year the police finally solved the baffling murder of Margot Hemingway.
Hey, I'm thankful that this year the police finally solved the baffling murder of Bob Hope. No, the Burbank police and the LA... and finally... and this is on a serious note.
The baffling murder of Bob Hope was so...
And finally, what I'm most thankful for, of course, is serious, is friends. Yes, friends. Especially that one where Joey buys Chandler a duck. That's the one I like the best.
Norm, I don't even think we punctuate that. I think it is such a beautiful list that we appreciate you calling in. We are thankful for your continued patronage here, and you have a good time in Hawaii. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Yeah, give my love to your family, buddy.
What I'm most thankful for, honest to God, is friends.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes, Conan, friends. Especially the one where Joey buys Chandler a duck.
All right, yeah. What the hell was that all about?
Baby, won't you come by? Everything's better with you by my side. A movie and dinner tonight. Pour a couple drinks and yeah, we're feeling fine.
When I was a kid, I'd do impressions because Rich Little did impressions. And I would do impressions of him doing impressions. I wouldn't know who the guy was. It'd be like Jimmy Cagney or something. I'd never heard of him, but me and my buddies would, do Jimmy Cagney.
An American, you say? Well, I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy. Yankee Doodle, do or die. You can't get any more American than that.
So, but no, sometimes people do yell that stuff out, though. They'll go like Bob Dole, like I'm going to do some guy that's, hasn't been around in 8 years. So,
well, no, it's good to know that it was the brilliance of Rich Little that led to dirty work in the end. I'm glad that I can draw the line from point A to point B.
Well, Rich Little has this really funny thing. If you want to see something funny, I mean funny in a bad way, it's he did A Christmas Carol, Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And he plays every character in it.
Rich Little's A Christmas Carol, starring Rich Little as W.C. Fields, Paul Lynde, Richard Nixon, Edith Bunker, John Wayne, and many, many more.
And I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but it was so funny. So he's like, And it's just anyone he could do, you know? So they're not even guys from the right time frame that lived at the same time. So it'll be like Tiny Tim is Paul Lynde, you know, and Marley is Nixon and stuff, you know. So it's like he's like it's like a horrible Nixon impression he does, and
they'll never let me forget about those 18 and a half. And the third, when the last stroke has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more.
And so, you know, it's like, Tiny Tim, go and get me a goose. And it's like, okay, I will, you know. Forget it.
I think
you guys have the capacity with your computers to find that kind of stuff.
I think it's on Twitter.
Yeah, you should try to Twitter that.
I think that's something. I think you could do that. I mean, that would be. I think you should remake the Rich Little Christmas Carol.
That would be kind of cool, actually.
It'll go viral. Like you could do it with, but just all Burt Reynolds and David Letterman as Scrooge.
And finally, back again, Burt Reynolds in a commanding lead with $14.
Hey, check out the podium. Look at this.
Mr. Reynolds has apparently changed his name to Turd Ferguson.
Yeah, that's right. Turd Ferguson. It's a funny name.
Great.
All right. Welcome back to the big show. Let me just get rid of this doll of steak. So, Paul is working out today. You know what health club I work out there, don't you, Paul?
No. Which one?
Work out at Crunch. The Brazilian teenager suing Michael Jackson for running him over with his van displayed his scars for a photographer this week. Jackson said through a spokesman that the suit was baseless, but he'd like to see more photos. Well, there may be trouble in paradise. Lisa Marie Presley confirmed this week that she and Michael Jackson live in separate residences 50 miles away from each other. Lisa Marie was quoted as saying, "I guess being married to a homosexual pedophile wasn't such a great idea after all." Hey, Lisa Marie Presley said that she and Michael are still together and happy this week. She also made a revelation that she is actually a 9-year-old boy. While in the hospital, Michael Jackson had his room specially decorated with 2 huge photos of Shirley Temple. But don't get the wrong idea here. Michael Jackson is a homosexual pedophile. The nation is still reeling from Thursday's bombshell announcement that Lisa Marie Presley has filed for divorce from Michael Jackson. According to friends, the two were never a good match. She's more of a stay-at-home type, and he's more of a homosexual pedophile. This week, in a secret ceremony in Australia, Michael Jackson was married for the 2nd time. Asked what makes his new bride special, the King of Pop said, quote, "She has taught me about the power of imagination, like imagining that a grown woman is a 10-year-old boy." You know he's a homosexual pedophile, right? You understand? And yes, it is true, Michael Jackson is going to be a father. Already he has hired an entire staff of nannies, nurses, and extra bodyguards, which hopefully will protect the child from Michael Jackson. The New York Post has reported that Michael Jackson wants his closest friend in the world, Elizabeth Taylor, to be the godmother of his child. However, those close to the pair worry that this could eventually lead to heated arguments over whether the, the child will be molested or eaten. The Nation is still reeling from Thursday's bombshell announcement that Lisa Marie Presley has filed for divorce from Michael Jackson. According to friends, the two were never a good match. She and Michael are still together and happy this week. While in the hospital, Michael Jackson had his room specially decorated with 2 huge photos of Shirley Temple. The King of Pop said, quote, "She has taught me about the power of imagination, like imagining that a grown woman is a 10-year-old boy."
All
And according to his dad, the 3-day-old boy is a regular chip off the old block. In fact, he's already molested a 1-day-old boy. This week, a London tabloid published the first exclusive pictures of Michael Jackson's baby, secretly taken by a guest at the King of Pop's Neverland Ranch. Upon seeing the pictures, Michael said, "This is not my baby." Then quickly added, "I'm not saying he isn't hot. He's hot. It's just not my kid." I'm not saying he's a very sexy infant. It's just not mine. I would love to have sex with him. He's just not my child, is all I'm saying. In next week's Life magazine, pop star Michael Jackson appears in a pictorial with his infant son. The photos show Jackson changing, feeding, and cradling the baby boy in what Jackson himself promises will be Life magazine's sexiest issue ever.
Michael Jackson. He said, I heard a quote where he said, I don't care if my child is a boy or a girl, as long as it's a boy. He's going to name it. He said he doesn't know what he's going to name it. He said he thinks if it's a girl, he's going to name it Sharon. Really? Yeah. And if it's a boy, he's going to have sex with it. That's what he said.
Yeah. I mean, even like you say, your unwanted WNT allegations against Michael Jackson. There had to be kids that were like, well, this is pretty cool. Yeah. This is not some old priest. And I was doing a bunch of jokes about Michael Jackson. And he said, Norm, you don't want to get sued by Michael Jackson. And secretly I did. I didn't tell Lauren. Yeah. I thought, how fucking cool would that be? Sure. I'm in court and there's Michael Jackson on the other side. Yeah. It's Michael Jackson against Norm. That has to help my profile. Oprah Winfrey broke down and cried this week, saying she had once smoked crack cocaine. You know, I don't know what she's crying about. I mean, you know, some people in this world never get to smoke crack cocaine. It's ridiculous. Huh? Earlier tonight, the New York Yankees defeated the Atlanta Braves and won the World Series. As a result, Atlanta Mayor Bill Campbell will send a bushel of delicious Georgia peaches to New York Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. Had the Braves won, Mayor Giuliani would have sent Mayor Campbell a bushel of delicious New York crack. Earlier this week, the Food and Drug Administration gave approval to Nicorette chewing gum, an over-the-counter aid for those trying to quit smoking. Next, the agency will rule on another addiction-fighting product. The title of that one is, I Can't Believe It's Not Crack. According to new medical research, crack babies are as happy and healthy as normal children. You know, that's amazing, you know, because I thought they'd be much happier with all that crack in their system, you know. It's crazy. And in the state of Washington, deaths from heroin hit record levels during 1995. Sorry, crack, it just wasn't your year. And finally, the Diamond Council of America advises that men spend 2 months' salary on an engagement ring, while the American Housing Company suggests that you spend 25% of your salary on rent. Interestingly, the U.S. Crack Association recommends that you spend all your salary on crack. At a press conference this week, Washington Mayor Marion Barry said he wants private businesses to provide 5,000 summer jobs for a district youth program. He also wants some crack.
Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry is currently enjoying a 10-day trip to Africa. He says he loves everything about the continent, but he really misses crack. Meanwhile, Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry attended the march and called it a beautiful display of unity and solidarity among African Americans. His only complaint, the complete absence of crack. In Washington, Mayor Marion Barry praised the verdict as, quote, wise and just. And he called upon people of all races to please get him some crack. Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry has prostate cancer, but the disease was detected early, and he expects a full recovery. Doctors say in no time, Barry will be up and around and smoking crack again. In the current climate of gun violence, the NBA's Washington Bullets have decided to change the name of their franchise. When several D.C. politicians were asked for their suggestions, President Bill Clinton said the Presidents would be a good name. Senator Bob Dole said the Senators. And Mayor Marion Barry said, I'll be with you in a minute right after I smoke some crack. Well, Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry says he has devised a money-saving plan that would close the district's Lorton prison and transfer its 7,000 inmates to private lockups. One hitch is that the financially strapped district doesn't have the startup money to implement the plan. Another hitch is that the guy who devised the plan smokes crack. So, 2 hitches. Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry is in hot water again, this time for bringing 54 government employees with him on a trip to a posh West Virginia resort. According to Barry, quote, that's how many guys it takes to keep me from smoking crack. In Washington, D.C., several local activists are trying to gather enough signatures by December to put a medical marijuana initiative on the ballot. Meanwhile, one local activist is trying to do the same thing for medical crack. A new survey by the Washington Post reports that D.C. Mayor Marion Barry's popularity among city residents has dropped to its lowest point in 5 years. However, Mayor Barry insists he has no interest in polls, or for that matter, anything else that isn't crack. Yes. He really has no interest in it. How good are polls going to do him? Last Friday in Washington, D.C., the city's elementary school students pledged to stay drug-free as a gift to their moms on Mother's Day. Meanwhile, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry got his mom a great big box of chocolates.
You were talking about going to the hospital in the last segment. I understand you actually had to visit yourself.
Yeah,
the hospital.
I went, what happened was on the show, on the Saturday Night Live show.
Yeah, that show. Yeah, I know that show.
I was on that, and Dennis Rodman was a guest.
Dennis Rodman, right.
And so we thought it'd be funny if he headbutted me, you know? Mm-hmm. So he headbutted me, but he did it really hard, you know?
Do we have a, I think actually someone supplied the clip. This is your...
Look, Dennis, I've had about enough of this. Now listen, if you plan to be here next fall doing book reviews, I expect to see a major attitude adjustment. You know, and while you're at it, a more conventional hairstyle and some clothes, for God's sakes. You're going to have to learn that there is such a thing as rules, Dennis Rodman. Rules. Do you understand that?
Sure. I understand.
Well, good.
That's the way it is. Good night and have a good weekend.
I went to the hospital. I went to St. I don't want to say the hospital, but I went to this hospital and to emergency, you know, and they're all like, they're the craziest guys in emergency, all like crack. Everybody's on crack. You know, every emergency is a guy on crack.
Yeah.
So I went in and they go like, hey, how much crack do you have? You know? And I go, I'm not on crack. And they go, what happened? I go, Dennis Rodman headbutted me.
Straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I wasn't broken apart by you.
But it was Christmas in New York, you know, and I was alone. So anyways, I went, there was a diner that I always go to near my house. It's a really nice diner. And so I went there, and there was this homeless bum there, you know.
Just say a homeless guy. It's not politically correct to say bum. Why can't you say homeless bum?
No, I thought they didn't like to be called bums.
Yeah, right. A homeless guy, yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, so, okay.
I'm not going to let you get to this story. I'm just going to keep giving you a hard time about bums. You meet a bum, a hobo, a tramp.
A tramp, yeah. He had a little stick with a thing on it.
He was from the 1930s. Yeah, okay.
And so he says to me, he says, can I get some money off you? And I don't like giving the homeless bums money. I'll tell you why. Because I figure they'll do the crack. Right?
They'll do the crack.
Yeah,
okay.
my mom says never give a homeless bums money because they'll go do the crack.
It's for the stubble, but it's for a role in a film.
Ooh, what's the role?
I haven't figured that out yet, but certainly there would be a movie that needs a prospector or something like that.
50 Shades. You saw what's going with Marcia Gay.
Yeah.
A couple more movies to be shot. You're into that, right, Norm? You like all that stuff?
No, I hate pornography.
You like the Red Room and the...
I don't like any of that. I don't like when love is for sale.
Okay. So he says as he takes a sip of water. Let's talk about that celebrity sketch, or that Celebrity Jeopardy sketch.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Yes.
That, you wrote that.
Yes,
and you came up with the Burt Reynolds thing.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do Burt Reynolds, and then when I wrote it, and then I stole it off SCTV. There was a sketch on SCTV, so I just stole it. But I waited for Martin Short to comment so I could ask for permission to steal it. And then...
And he was okay with that?
He said that Eugene Levy wrote it, and he said, we'll get on a conference call with Eugene Levy. And I said, I'll call him, I'm a man. So Eugene Levy gave me permission. But anyways, when I went to do the Burt Reynolds, Lauren, picks out the costumes and everything. He had a white beard and white hair and stuff. And I was like, no, I want to do him from the 70s. And nobody really mentioned it. Nobody really ever noticed it, but it's weird that there's one character in the sketch from 40 years earlier.
Will Ferrell, I watched this over and over. He never cracks. And in this one with the church or whatever, was he one of the greatest people?
Yeah. I wrote it for Will, basically, because he was such a fantastic actor, and I just thought that it was funny that Alex always has hope. You know what I mean, Alex? It goes bad, horribly bad, and then he still has hope the next time. Then it goes bad again. Question after question, show after show, season after season.
I like the way you talk, Norm.
You like the way I talk?
Yeah, it's like a neat cadence, but you got to be careful what we say to you because it can be shut down quickly, but we're following you over here. You know what I mean?
Well, you like how I talk because I talk like a man. And you don't hear that.
It's true.
You don't hear that much anymore. These days, you can't tell the men from the ladies.
As I said, we'll move on.
You know who's a real man? Have you ever interviewed Josh Brolin?
Yes, we have.
You have?
Yeah.
My God, huh?
Yeah, total stud. A manly man.
He is
You got a thing for Josh Brolin?
Huh?
You got a thing for Josh then? Please, tread lightly in there.
No, I mean, he's a hot piece of tail.
Yeah, his tail is on fire. Tell us about Chris Farley going from one hot dude.
Yeah.
Farley.
Oh, man,
I can't tell you, the love I feel for Farley and his sketches. Was he the guy, even off camera, that just walked into the room and lit it up? Because according to your book, there was stuff you don't even see where he's nude and pretended to be a salad and things are going on. And please
he liked being nude. And he would come in and he'd go, I'm a girl. I'm a little girl. He's talking to I'm a little girl. But anyways, yeah, he was the funniest guy. And he would always make everybody laugh. He'd just go out in the streets
table, and he could fall straight without putting his hands out.
Oh my gosh.
And if you try to do it, you always put your hands out. It's survival, your survival instinct. And he didn't have that survival instinct.
Oh, well, he learned early on that the fall was funny for him.
Yeah.
And it was his signature move.
Yeah.
Did you see him later in life when it seemed like things were getting bad and he was sort of in trouble?
Yeah, I did. The last thing he did was work on a film that I was a motion picture that I was in. So that's the last thing he ever did. So I thought he would be fine though, because he was a giant man with huge constitution. And he'd take like a steak and he'd put a big piece of butter on each bite of the steak. So everything about him was just giant, and so I thought, oh, this guy will never die. I was worried about Spade because he was a little frail guy, you know what I mean? Like Farley was a big giant, So I never worried about him. But he never thought he was funny, which was bizarre because everybody was always laughing whatever he said.
That was the sadness.
It was sad because he said like, I wish I was funny like Belushi. And I was like, Belushi wasn't funny. Like, he was a good actor, but, when you saw him interviewed, he was kind of a dark guy, melancholy, guy. Mm-hmm. Whereas Farley could make dumb people laugh, smart people laugh, people that didn't like him laugh, people that liked him.
A lot of comics that don't. Do you think you're funny? Because in your book, you've got Louis C.K. calling you Mark Twain in this, David Letterman, which we're going to get to, that loves you. Hold that right there. But do you think you're funny? Because a lot of comics have this thing where the validation isn't always there on the inside of their head. We got to talk about Letterman. Answer. I like when he got emotional on his last show. War with Norm Macdonald.
Hold, right?
Yeah. Hold, Norm. Drink, Norm. Drink. Pause.
Emotional. But because I was just emotional by mistake. It wasn't like I planned to be emotional or, I can't act, so I couldn't do that on cue or anything.
I like this side of you, Norm.
You do, huh?
But it speaks to the friendship that you two have.
I like the mannishness of it.
Well, I like both. Kind of like a Josh Brolin right now.
Yeah. I had a square jaw. Well, there I am doing David Letterman. I did an impression of David Letterman, and I felt like odd doing it, because I love him so much.
What does he mean to you? What did he do for you?
Oh, well, I planned to go on Johnny Carson. That was my plan. I was living in Canada, and I'd done stand-up 2 years, and I was pretty well at my peak of stand-up. So I said, I'm going to go on Johnny Carson. He had 8 months to go, and I'm going to be the last comedian that he anoints and calls over to the couch. And anyway, the guy that picked the comics, he didn't want me to do that. So I ended up on Dave, but that was better because Johnny, I just took on faith that he was funny. I don't know. To me, he was just a corny old man. But Dave was my generation, He was my guy.
But what clicked between the two of you? What was it?
Oh, I don't know. He liked me for some reason. Mm-hmm. And, so I worshiped him. And then I was like, I don't know why he liked me. I get to say
what do you think of him now, like as Santa Claus Letterman?
Oh,
there he is.
No, I think that's really cool. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm sorry that they show those pictures because he did it to be anonymous, and now they show pictures, so everyone that sees a guy with a big white beard will know it's Letterman.
At Christmas, it's like Letterman. You're Santa. Do you talk to him? Do you ever call him on the phone or talk about nothing?
No.
He doesn't seem like the type that would keep in touch. I don't know. I'm just judging, but he's just sort of in his lane up there in Connecticut.
Yeah, he lives. He has his ranch, and he's in New York City a lot. Mm-hmm. And I talked.
There's a story
maybe
there.
I spoke to him, but
we caught you. Gotcha. That was good.
But no, he's having a good time. He really likes being retired. He said it surprised him a lot. He thought he would not know what to
with the election, he's sitting at home. There's so much material. It writes itself. He has to miss it.
No, he wishes that he would have been able to do Trump.
Talking about the election and Trump, you were just on Fallon the other night.
Yeah.
Trump was there. Did you guys talk a little bit?
Well, what happened was, first of all, I watched it. I thought it was fine. Then the next day they were like, Jimmy wasn't. It's Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. He's not going to ruin his chance to get to host Face of the Nation. So no, I was second guessed. and he was first guest. First time I was ever second guest.
Really?
And
I didn't even really like surprise. Like, oh, continue.
but it was Donald Trump. So there's only like a couple minutes between. So Donald Trump came out, and he was with the Secret Service guys. And I said, "Can I get a picture of Mr. Trump?" And so he's like, "Oh yeah, I know you. I love you. Yeah, we'll get a picture." I knew him from before. He goes, "We'll get a picture. Just give me a minute." And then he turns around, he walks down the hall, and gets in an elevator.
You're still waiting.
Yeah, I was like,
you're like best trick ever.
I know, it was like a Buster Keaton movie.
That's a good one. Fallon was on you at SNL. Was he the young guy when you were on there? And did you?
No, he wasn't on with me. We didn't cross paths.
There was no. Okay, I guess he was so young.
Yeah, he was a very, very young kid.
Who did you pay?
He used to send in jokes all the time when I was on Update, and I think he got like one on or something.
So he was the young, aspiring, always trying to get in there.
trying to get in. And then he got in and blew the roof off.
Anybody you paid it forward to is what I was going to ask, because you had so many people. You talked about Adam Sandler and everybody that sort of helped you. Who did you pay it forward to?
No, I didn't pay it forward. No, I tried to help people, but then it turned out they sucked. Like, I can't pick good guys. And if a guy's good, he'll make it anyways. But, I have had a few guys that go, "You got to hire this guy." And then the guy phones me and goes, "Oh, that guy sucked. Like, he was the worst." I'm like, I didn't know. It seemed funny to me.
Norm's memoir, based on a true story. How loosely based on a true story, or 100% based on a true story?
It's 100% true.
Okay.
The facts not all the facts out there, but the truth is there.
It's out now.
Norm, this has been interesting. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, kid.
I love that.
Thank you.
All right, there's been a lot of drama on the CBS hit Criminal Minds. Thomas Gibson was fired after kicking a writer. You can't do that, Norm. We're going to update from it.
Kicking a writer.
Yeah. New cast member Adam Rodriguez is coming out next.
Joining me now is nationally syndicated columnist and the author of If Democrats Had Any Brains, They'd Be Republicans, Ann Coulter. Hey, welcome to the show, Ann. How you doing?
Fine, thanks. I saw you on O'Reilly last night. You were magnificent.
That's nice to say, but I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, and I'm not used to satellites. You must have done a lot of those.
Oh yeah. No, you never get used to that.
Yeah, I got all confused. But it's really fun to talk to you.
Thank you. I'm a huge fan.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's nice.
All right, Normie.
Now,
Sorry, I hate when guests say that, but I am.
Oh, that's nice. A pretty girl like you. What do you do for guys? I've always heard that dudes are afraid of strong women. Do you ever?
Yeah, well, maybe weak men are, but that's not really what I'm in the market for.
Okay, and let's start with this Iowa. They're all caucusing, the Iowans?
Yes.
So, you have any thoughts on that? I don't know.
Yes, I do. Well, I don't know. I'm sort of torn on it because on one hand, I think it should be much, much, much more difficult to vote. Way too many people vote. It's like having me vote on the Oscars and I never see movies. To have most people voting, I don't understand this impulse. Oh, vote, it's your civic duty. I think there ought to be a poll tax and a literacy test. But I'm not sure the Iowa caucus is the way to get at it because you have to spend, it's not so bad for the Republicans, oddly enough, but for the Democrats, you have to go and attend a meeting all day. You have to sit in a meeting with annoying people. It's like jury duty for a day.
And it's the people that just last the longest there, right?
Exactly. Which is why they haven't really done a bang-up job in the past.
Now, who do you like on the Republican side?
Well, I like Duncan Hunter the most, but of course he doesn't particularly have a chance. I guess other other voters don't like cranky old men who don't smile much as I do. But on the issues, he's magnificent. Of our top candidates, and I guess there are 4 or 5 of them, the one I dislike the least is Mitt Romney.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not wild about any of them. Oh, well, I like them all better than any of the Democrats.
Now, what I find intriguing about you is that you're unapologetically pro-life. And
That's what I noticed about your appearance last night. I emailed everyone on my email list. That was magnificent.
well, it's not a popular opinion, but I've always wondered why it's not a subject of debate in the country, since the country is so split. But you never hear it discussed in rational terms.
No, you're right. You're right. Well, I think in part it's because one side doesn't really want the details discussed.
Uh-huh.
It's better to talk about it as a matter of, women's freedom and women's choice than sucking the brains out of a little baby.
Yeah, why would they not just call it pro-abortion and anti-abortion?
Yeah, it's not a good name. These sociologists have noticed that names for ethnic groups are enrolling over the centuries. When they're first called names, they're epithets, and when the ethnic group, or whatever the group is, when it achieves status in society, whatever the last ethnic group or name it was called is the one, nickname is the one that sticks, and then it's no longer considered a mean name. And it's the same thing with abortion. They keep changing the name. It's choice and women's rights and women's health care and a woman's right to choose. But then people figure out what it is, and they hate whatever the new thing is.
Yeah, what I've also found always a little suspect is when these ladies go I'm not for it, but... You know what I mean? Why aren't they for it?
Right. And we found out that they were, every once in a while, it's the corner of the eye facts that always leap out at you. And they slip every now and then, because you're exactly right. They're always saying, well, no one is for abortion. No one is for abortion. And then, I don't know if you remember when Sam Alito was nominated to the Supreme Court, the press descended on his sweet little Italian mother and started peppering her with questions. And they asked her, is your son, is he, for or against abortion? And she said, well, of course he's against abortion. And that became a huge news item, that Sam Alito was against abortion. But, I thought they told us everybody was against abortion.
Now, is that your litmus test?
I have lots of litmus tests, but yeah, that's a big one. That's a really, really big one.
Because I know you're very serious about it, and do you view it as a program, like a genocide?
Like a what?
Like a genocide,
Yes, yes, it's unbelievable what's going on. It's amazing how restrained the pro-life forces are, but they won't let us vote. I think we'd win if. Obviously, the Planned Parenthood side thinks that Americans are not copacetic with abortion because we're not allowed to vote on it. That's part of what's so enraging about this. There's nothing you can do about it. As long as the Supreme Court says that abortion is a constitutional right, there's nothing you can do. You can change as many hearts and minds as there are in the country, and there's nothing that can be done. Back in the 60s, these radicals used to, if they weren't going to sign up with, the weathermen and blow up the Pentagon, they'd say, no, I'm going to work within the system, work within the system. Well, the pro-life forces have been working within the system for 40 years now, and, patiently bide their time, try to get new Supreme Court justices, and then, we end up with an O'Connor or a Kennedy who hallucinate the same right to abortion in the Constitution. So, I understand why violence breaks out. I wouldn't engage in violence myself. Just on the basis of Pascal's wager, but I can understand if you're not going to let people vote, that some of them are going to engage in violence. There hasn't been that much violence. It's about 7 abortion doctors to, 40 million dead babies.
It's a very tiny... I didn't understand the Pascal's wager. I know what that is. But...
That was the argument for God. It's very simple.
No, I know Pascal's wager, but I didn't understand what you meant.
Oh, I wouldn't shoot an abortion doctor.
Oh, because...
Yeah, what if I'm wrong?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting that you say, "What if I'm wrong?" Have you ever said that before?
I'm sure I have, though not on most of the idiotic things liberals say.
So you would not support Giuliani then, or any other pro-choice candidate?
No, I mean, if it's I've been polling, some of my friends on this. I mean, I think it would be very bad for the country if both the Republican and Democratic nominee support abortion. I think that would be bad. But if they're both supporting abortion, yeah, I mean, I at first I was saying I'd never vote for a pro-abortion Republican, and then within about a week I realized after a hard-fought campaign against Hillary Clinton, I'd probably go into the voting booth, pull the lever for whichever idiot we've nominated, including Giuliani, and then just lie to all my friends about it.
What is your sense of who? Like, to me, it seems clear that Hillary Clinton will be the next president. But do you think so?
I think so too, and this business about how she's losing in Iowa, I am very suspicious of because of these sneaky little tricks of the Clinton machine. And one of the big ones they've always used is lowered expectations. The prime example of which was when Clinton was running in the Democratic primaries. You know, he came in like third or fourth in Iowa. He came in second in New Hampshire. And that one was when he was crowned the comeback kid. He came in second. How are you the comeback kid? Well, it's because they had spent, weeks lowering expectations and, he's washed up, he's finished, he's over. And the funniest example was right before they released his grand jury testimony. This is the one in which he launched the one about it depends on what the meaning of is, and we got into a lot of discussions of, where his penis was in relation to Monica Lewinsky, and it was so embarrassing. I mean, the grand jury, the black grand jury in Washington, D.C. that was sympathetic to Bill Clinton, they laughed out loud as he was giving his testimony. And so before it was released to the public and played all over TV, the rumors went out, you'll probably remember this, that Clinton turned purple and there was spittle coming out of his mouth and he stormed out of the room. Well, okay, it wasn't that bad. It was embarrassing.
What is the definition of the word is? Do we have an OED somewhere? I thought it was pretty simple.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost a word that's so simple you don't even know the definition.
This is why I so wish, I don't think it will happen, but I so wish Obama would be their nominee. I think he would be tougher to beat than Hillary, and I don't care. I just want to be rid of this national pestilence of the Clintons.
The national pestilence.
Our long national pestilence is over.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Barack's got money.
Yes, I mean, that does give you, that is a heartening fact about the Democrats, that even they feel a little creepy about the Clintons.
It's funny, Barack always ends his thing with, let's go change the world. And isn't that what Bush is doing?
Yeah, in a pretty transformative and important way.
Hey, Ann, you're going to stay with us for one more segment, right? Wait, what?
The Dennis Miller Show.
Seconds. Guidance internal. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence start. Engines armed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engines running. Launch commit. Liftoff. We have liftoff at 9:34 a.m.
The Dennis Miller Show. 866-509-7268.
Ann Coulter's kind enough to stay with us for a second segment. Ann, I wanted to talk to you about Christianity, because you're Christian, right?
Yes, I am.
And I like it because it seems to me that you're an actual Christian. And I know you got Sal was telling me he was against the thing you did on Donnie Deutsch, but
Not according to liberals.
but the fact of the matter is
I don't think they're really down with the scripture, since they're often standing up at college lectures demanding to know how I could be a Christian if I smoke and wear short skirts. And I keep looking for those passages of the Bible.
But it's very strange, like, because I always hear, you know, that people don't like Christians because, you know, they believe it's the only true faith and they want to convert people, but that's the basis of Christianity, isn't it?
Right, and I would assume, you know, any religion, including the godless religion of liberalism, you know, they want us all to be liberals. They want us to change our light bulbs to those goofy, you know, global warming protecting light bulbs. You know, I assume now wants to convert us all to want to suck the brains out of little babies and so on and so forth. I mean,
Wait, isn't that's now illegal, though, right? Partial birth abortion?
Yes. It took a long time, but yes, it is.
And that, what I don't understand is, like, I remember in the Scott Peterson case, he was charged with double homicide. So wouldn't that mean that the baby was a...
Yes, that's a big issue, actually. These pro-abortion groups are against those laws. And by the way, Hillary Clinton denounced the Supreme Court decision upholding the federal law banning partial birth abortion.
Did all the Democrats?
I think every single one of the candidates did. Everyone who had a comment on it. I'd have to look it up. I wrote about her. I'm sure I noticed it at the time. I know Hillary did. One of the ones did who voted in favor of the law.
Really?
Who would that have been? Maybe Biden. I don't know. But, you know, these Democrats want to get their votes on the record as having voting in favor of a ban on partial birth abortion, but then turn around and denounce the Supreme Court decision upholding the law they voted for.
But surely, I don't know, I should have asked John Zogby, but surely...
Norm, I'm sleeping with your wife.
You son of a bitch, motherfucker! Huh? You sleep with my fucking wife? You son of a bitch cocksucker! You're my best fucking friend, Adam! God damn you, motherfucker! I'll fucking kill you! You sleep with, that's what you were doing on fucking Friday night, were you, huh? You fucking bastard! You see?
Okay, I apologize. We had some technical difficulties. Got a little carried away. I got to apologize. I feel partially responsible. So
what was that? You don't even have a wife. You don't even have a wife.
That's true. I never was the marrying kind. Okay, we're ready to pull the classic vodka and funnel prank.
Yeah, you swallow that, you fucker. You drink that down. You don't fucking spit that out. Yeah, you like it, you fucker. Drink it. Fucking swallow that fucking...
What the fuck is...
Adam Egat.
Yeah?
Would you come in, please?
What's up? How'd it go?
I just wanted to compliment you. Yes, you have a very nice tie. I like your shirt. Louisville Slugger. Oh, God. You see, I care enough to use a brand name. That's right, Dandy. Why don't you just say Brand X, you bum? It's called authenticity. Right, you're not worth a bent penny, you damn drunkard.
Just gotta do something, though.
Okay. What? You have like somewhere to be?
No, I just gotta do something.
Oh, no! Oh, good Christ almighty! That is a lot of pain! Oh, God, you're kicking me in the belly! Why? Oh, please stop! Okay, fair enough. Just don't kick me in the face.
So fellas are blessed. Adam Egan, where have you been? Turns out, in a jiffy, the wig came off. You could have, by the way, why the hell did it take you so long? I had to talk to Gala for 10 minutes. You get...
Fucking suck that venom. Yeah, you fucking suck that fucking venom. Yeah, you want to spit it out? You got a fucking mouth load. Ah, fucking shoot it out of your face, you fucking cunt. You fucking whore. Ah!
Oh, thanks, dude. I didn't get any of that in my mouth.
Yeah, no problem, man. We'll be back with Simon Helber. You fucking sit down.
No, but listen, man. I'm not afraid of no monsters, you know. We spend, when you think about it, man, we spend most of our adult life petrified of monsters, you know. And I'm just coming to I'm saying enough, man. You know, I'm not gonna live under the tyranny of these monsters that walk among us, you know. If they get me, they get me. And some of them I don't even know what's so scary about them. Like now they got a movie I've seen, Wolfman, you know, which is very scary, right? A Wolfman, you know, they got a movie, and it's like a werewolf. I think it's exactly the same. I'm not sure. I haven't studied it close enough. But I believe, like, if a Wolfman came at you and stuff, you went, ah, werewolf, people wouldn't go, ah, it's a Wolfman, you idiot. But my point is this. I am not afraid of a wolfman or a werewolf because when you think about what they are, they're half man and half wolf. So therefore, I am only half afraid of them as I am of a wolf. And there's no movie called The Wolf. See, if you got a wolf man, half the time he's a man. You can reason with him. Yeah? You can sit down, have a cheese sandwich. But a wolf, man, you can't reason with a wolf. A wolf only wants to eat you. So I'm not afraid of a werewolf. I'm not afraid of ghosts. They don't scare me, you know? Not at all. I mean, I don't want to say I'm invulnerable to fear, but they simply don't frighten me. You know? First of all, what do, you know? They just go, ah, which that's not that scary to me. Yeah? And then they're invisible. They're like, ah, and you're like, what? You're invisible. You can put your hand through them. That kind of a person never frightens me. You know the kind of guys that frighten me? You ever meet those guys where you can't put your hand through them? I don't care for those fellas. But when I can put my hand through them, doesn't scare me in the least. This is how unscary they are. I was at a hotel a couple of weeks ago. In the lobby, they were saying they were bragging about there was a ghost in the hotel. You know, how scary can that be? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, every night, Mary with the blue dress, that was her nickname. She was murdered and she hangs around the bed, you know what I mean? And she'll come over. And so beware, because Mary with the blue dress, which was her nickname, which was an odd nickname because you'd think her nickname would be Mary the Ghost. You know. When they came time to pick out her nickname, you know, I think they were like, oh. They go, hey, what do you notice about Mary that makes her distinctive? We got to come up with a nickname for her. I know she wear a lot of blue dresses. She seems to have an affinity toward blue dresses. You're talking about Mary, right? The transparent lady? So I would call her Mary the ghost. And anyways. And all they seem to do is complain, these ghosts. You ever know that? And I was like, I can't. Everything's wrong. They're never happy or nothing, you know? Like, I have to, something bad happened to me. And if I don't get it cleared up, I have to travel all through the world in pain and sorrow, you know? And then I'm like, well, I do too. What the hell? At least you get to walk through walls and stuff. You get to do cool stuff. I think I'll have some more water. I love water. In Duluth, Minnesota, authorities suspect arson was to blame for a fire that destroyed a mobile home and killed 73 cats. The chief suspect so far, this dog. Dogs don't care for cats much, you know. How could they not know that? This week, Disney released a new CD featuring a rapping Mickey Mouse. To avoid controversy, the CD will not include the controversial hit single, Cat Killer. And in a related story, this week marked the 5,000th performance of the Broadway musical Cats. It also marked the 5,000th time a guy turned to his wife and said, "What the hell is this?"
You know, cat ladies, they're so crazy, they're always thought to be crazy. You know what's even crazier? Snake ladies.
Oh, yeah.
They have all the
Absolutely.
This is so your style right here.
What?
The writers, whoever they are, they're writing, they know how to write for you. Just read this one.
Cats and paraplegics have a lot in common. For starters, neither appreciates going into your pool.
No, you didn't read it right. Neither appreciates being tossed in your neighbor's pool.
Yeah, they deserve a raise.
So anyways, we go to the Cats, you know, and this is something I've heard about for years. Cats. Been around a long time.
Forever.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
I think.
Yeah. And I go there. I go what?
Cruller.
So I go to Cats. You're not. I don't know if I'm an idiot or if everybody else is an idiot, but it's probably me.
No.
It's about cats.
That's right.
I'm talking. It's about actual cats. So I said to the guy at halftime during the thing, I go out and I say, there's a dude working there. I say, good God, man, that's about actual cats, right? So the guy goes, well, what the hell you expect? It says cats. And I go, I don't know. I thought it was like a symbolism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure, right.
I mean, if you went to like Dog Day Afternoon and there's a bunch of dogs in the afternoon, you'd want your money back.
Literal, exactly, yeah.
Am I able to have a good time? My cat just had a heart attack.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he had a heart. You ever hear such a crazy thing?
No, I didn't know they got things like that.
Yeah, they get heart attacks. So I got it off Steve Korn, this writer up at
Sure,
Saturday Night
I know
Live.
him, yeah.
Yeah, so he gives me his cat.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it's some kind of a defective cat, you know? So he's a nice cat and everything. I'm getting along with him. I come back to my apartment last week. The cat's like foaming at the mouth. He's shaking like this. He's foam coming out. So I didn't want to get near it. I thought maybe he'd, you know, who knows? He was delirious. Maybe he'd think I'm a mouse. So I say, I didn't want to get near him. So I phoned 911. You know, I panicked. I phoned 911.
Right.
Which it turns out it's just for people. I didn't know that.
Didn't know either.
They got mad, man. They said they would have me arrested if I phoned back.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, you know, I love this cat. It's a good cat. So I took him down. I got him in a cab, and I took him down to the hospital, the animal hospital.
Uh-huh.
And the guy tells me my cat had a heart attack. He takes him away. He says, oh, yeah, he had cardiac arrest and stuff. And he started asking me questions about, like, he says, I said, what would cause that? He goes, you know, diet, stress.
Stress?
Yeah. Well, he had a big promotion coming up. So,
uh-huh.
And then he let me visit the cat.
Uh-huh.
He says, you can visit the cat, you know. There's visiting hours. I go, all right. So you go in this room, and then they bring the cat in a cage.
Uh-huh.
He's all drugged up. And then they put the cat, like, on a bed. And then the guy goes, okay, we'll be back in a half an hour. You have half an hour, you know? So I'm with the cat, like, for half an hour. So after 5 minutes, you know, I figured, I got a life to get back to. You know, it's a cat. So we go out, and so afterwards he told me he had a lot of, he said he could have an operation, which was like $4,000, which, you know, I could buy like 100 cats for that, you know? But then I figured, what the hell would I do with 100 cats? So,
Right. So you got the cat. You sprung for the operation.
No,
huh?
I didn't.
Oh.
No, there was another thing where he's on medication, you know, and I have him on medication. I have this medication, and he said there was some good news and bad news. He said the bad news was the cat only has like a 20% chance of survival, but he says the good news is it's just a cat.
He's a bad doctor. He's a bad doctor, too.
I like some pornography, you know. Sometimes I just get so repelled by it, you know. Oh, you ever have those friends of yours go, hey man, I got a video of a guy fucking a pig. You're like, I don't care. Yeah, it's on my computer. I'm a computer expert. Yeah, I'm right into the computer. I got snakes coming out of ladies' asses, all kinds. I can show it to you. Come on in mine. I'm like, no, that's all right. I don't want to see it. Some guy fucking a pig. I didn't even think that was real. You know, that's bestiality, right? That's what they call it. Bestiality. That's a real thing, man. I never heard of a dude doing that. Like, nobody. I know a lot of people, man. None of them, to my knowledge, have ever fucking an animal. You know what I mean? I never even heard a guy knew a guy. You know what I mean? But I know that people fuck animals on account of they got that word bestiality. You know what I mean? That's not easy getting a fucking word. You know what I mean? It's hard getting a word going. They had to have calls at the goddamn dictionary office going, hey man, what the fuck am I supposed to say when I fuck my animal? I got no word for that. You guys gotta put a word there in the dictionary. I got some lobby going there because people are fucking animals. I don't understand. I feel sorry for the animal because that's not consenting. And, you know, also, man, can you imagine if you're a pig, you know, and you're having sex with a beautiful lady, right? And then, afterwards, you gotta go home and fuck a pig. Right? Before, you didn't know. You were like, hey, this pig's all right? You don't know it's a dirty pig. And then you're having sex with a beautiful lady, and then they're like, yeah, go fuck pigs again. You're like, you dirty bastard. You burned me. What if you're watching, get this, man, what if you're watching one of those movies, right? And you're saying, hey, man, there's a pig fucking a lady. And then you're like, hey, wait a second. That's that lady that wouldn't dance with me last Friday. She's fucking a pig, man. She wouldn't dance with me. It's terrible. I don't know. Just dirty for no reason. But that computer stuff, that is just all filth, you know? I don't see anything. Everybody says, oh man, everything's gonna be different. Everything, if you get a computer, then I get a computer, I go, well, what the fuck do I do with it? They go, hey, you can email people. It's amazing. You write in there, then it goes into people, and I'm like, well, what about a fucking phone, man? That seems more amazing to me. I hear a dude's voice in China. Right? They invented that like a couple hundred years ago. It could have been 2 million. But you know, no matter what your sexual proclivity, is that a word, proclivity? I know it's a word, but I don't know what it means. I only know 9-10 words, but I bank on other people not knowing them too. But whatever your sexual, as long as you don't, have sex with animals. I think that's terror. I think it's the wrong thing because they're not, maybe they're consenting, but we don't know. The animals could be going, hey, I don't know why people are stopping this. I said yes. Maybe, no means no. I said fucking oink. That's what I say when I want to get fucked. Oink. But since there's no way of telling if they're consenting. I'm like that Harvard professor, Art Miller, talking about law. But anyway, the point is this. The whole point is this. I don't know what that means. I just get one of those flashbacks. Rocky Mountain drinking water. You ever get those, some of them are like glacier, it's all water, right? They don't actually go to a glacier. They don't go over to the Rocky Mountains to get this water, right? You just get it there, you get it everywhere else. That's your bullshit. Anyway, I say, everybody's the same, and, well, not everybody, but I guess nobody's really the same. I take it back. I gotta come up with some opinions. That's my problem. I got no opinions. The guy tells me one thing, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. The guy can come up and go, hey, abortion, man, that's a woman's right to choose what she does with her body. I'm like, you're fucking right. And another guy go, hey, it's baby murder. I go, good Christ, is it? Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know which is right. I don't know how people come up with these opinions. I have no idea. What? You say my name? Hi, how you doing? Is that all you've come up with? This is my name? Is that all you're going away from? Last time I heard this noise, I was raped afterwards. Getting raped. I'll tell you something about getting raped, man. It's not all it's cracked up in. That's why I don't want to go to prison, man. Getting raped. God damn. And they know it, those fucking guys, They're like, they know that that's the real punishment, but they don't say it, but they know. They're always like, oh, how terrible it is to lose your freedom. What the fuck is that? You just read a book and work out in the gym and shit like that, But the real punishment is, they get fucked in the ass. But the judge, he doesn't even bring it up, you know what I mean, at the sentencing. He doesn't even mention it to you. There's probably some guys who don't even know what's going on happen, They're like, all right, I'll go in there for a couple of years. First night, get fucked in the ass by 10 guys, you know. Next day, they see them there in the cafeteria. They're like, hey! You guys were way out of line last night. Let me tell you something. It's ridiculous. I have a good mind to go to the warden about this. I can't believe it. Unbelievable, you guys. A lot of growing up to do, I'll tell you that right now. Unbelievable. You know what's interesting about rape, guy-on-guy rape? Never happens with gay guys. It's straight guys, right? Straight guys rape each other. Isn't that kind of odd? And gay guys don't. Maybe with gay guys, no one's ever said no. I don't know. I have no idea. But God bless gay guys. I know a lot. They're all good guys, you know, funny guys. One time I saw, you ever see a gay pride parade? That's taking a little too far to be being proud or something like that. Because, that's just what you are, man. You're gay. How can you be proud of that? You know what I mean? That's like saying, hey, man, I'm proud of being English. God damn. I gotta tell you something. I speak English. I can't tell you. My heart wells with pride about that, man. I talk English every goddamn day. I don't get that, man. I can be proud of that. I went to a gay pride parade, man. I seen a guy, they have the parents of the gay guys, you know. God bless them, man. Because some of these guys, and they hold these banners, say, I'm proud of my gay son, you know. And some of these motherfucking guys, you know, you can tell they were in the war and shit, you know. They never thought they'd be out with a banner saying, I'm proud of my gay son. You know, the mothers are nice, the guys are like, kind of proud of them, I guess. But seriously, are they actually, bragging about their son being gay? Or they down at work, hey, Billy, man, I gotta tell you something about Jimmy. God damn, we're so proud of him. He graduated Harvard last year, first in the class. God damn smart kid, man. He's articling now, over in the Cambridge area. Oh, my God, next year he should be a full partner. Oh, hey, did I mention he sucks cock? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, this guy loves cock in his mouth, his ass. It's unbelievable. Here, I got a picture of him here. Yeah, here's the guy with 5 cocks in his mouth. Right there, look at that. God damn, that guy, I don't know how he does it, but I am just so proud of that picture. That's the picture I'm most proud of. Him blowing 5 dudes. God bless gay guys. They make me laugh because I don't like homophobia because if you're mean to people, man, that's horrible. So I don't mean anything back. And I know people, hate people for all kinds of reasons. Some people hate people because they're a different color, black or white or something like that. I don't care if a guy's black. Hey, let me tell you something. I got a thing I realized. When a guy's racist is when he if he says something like this. He goes, I don't care if a guy's black or white or brown, yellow, blue, green, or anything. You're like, what the fuck is green? I don't care if a guy's purple. Any of those goddamn non-human colors, all the same to me. Purple, black, same thing to me. If the guy's a black guy or a purple guy, I treat him the same. Isn't a purple guy? That's a fucking monster from outer space. Who the hell likes those guys? You gotta kill those guys, right? God bless gay guys. I'm fascinated by them. I got my friend, man. He's a gay guy. He thinks like I'm a gay guy. A lot of gay guys think everybody's gay. Especially when they're fascinated. At least my most fascinating subject is gay guys because it's something like that I find hard to comprehend, fucking another dude. So I'm like fascinated that this, this is like a thing. Like if a guy tells me, hey, I play a lot of bridge, I'm like, whatever. But if a guy goes, hey, I love licking a guy's balls, I'm like, wow, that's a real interesting thing there, man. That's something else. I'm interested in that shit. You know, I'm really fascinated with that because it's a fascinating thing, you know. And you know, I just want to understand. I try to understand, you know, because it's interesting, you know, very, very interesting stuff, you know. And one thing I do realize about gay guys is one of them gets gypped, you know, and there's two gay guys. That's for goddamn sure. One of those guys is having a grand old time, you know. The other guy, man, he got the wrong end of the thing. I don't know how they figure it out, man, but one guy gets to use his cock. It's a huge advantage in a relationship. You get to use your cock. You know? One guy's, hey, I'll tell you what, man, I'll use my cock. How about you use the inside of your ass? The guy's like, I'm not sure that's fair, man. Are you sure this will be as fun for each of us here? Because I'll tell you, man, a guy's cock, it likes everything, you know? Really, when you come down to it, you could fuck a chocolate cake, you know? It'd be all right. You go, hey, it's my companion. It's a chocolate cake. I fuck it, you know? I fuck it. Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing the chocolate. You know, because the cock is a thing, just gets along with everybody. Easy going. Hey, man, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. But the inside of your ass, completely different. You know? Very picky, very, kind of a loner, you know? Kind of just, I'm all right over here. And then there's gay ladies too, lesbians, you know, that I think like for mainstream America, they're easier to accept, you know, because, you know, there's no like anal tearing and stuff. So basically, I don't know what they do. I guess they just like lick each other or something. I don't know. They can't fuck because they got no cock. So I don't know how they can't have sex, right? All they can do is go buy a cock. They go to like stores. You know what, man? I hate that real cock, but I love that big fake plastic cock. I don't know. It's too complicated for me to understand. I'm saying like things that are completely ill-informed. But I'm just trying to figure it out. Oh, God bless, though. God bless everyone. Everybody lies, right? You gotta lie there, but you ever lie for no reason? That's a bad lie there. You know, usually there's a reason, like you want to protect somebody's feelings or, you know, screw over your buddy or something like that, but you ever lie for no reason at all? Just all of a sudden a big lie spills out of your evil head there, you know? And you don't even know, like a guy comes up to you and go, hey, you ever see that movie with Meryl Streep and a horse? And you go, yes. In the back of your head, you go, what the hell am I lying about over here? I stand to gain nothing by this lie. The hell am I thinking back here in my head? I don't know, man.
You know, Norm's one of those guys, he'll write something, it's a really funny joke, but also let you realize he's a sick fucker. You know, it's like he said, yes. You ever find yourself, one of his Norm's bits, so I just thought like, I fell off my chair, and he said, you ever find yourself lying, telling a lie, and you're halfway through, you realize, wait a minute, there's no possible way I could benefit from this lie. Why am I lying? saying, "Hey, did you see Avatar?" Yeah. To me, that's just a monster.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
a twisted mind.
Yeah, he's
And my favorite thing about Norm is that he will just flat out lie. Just for his own entertainment, he'll just tell you a story that has never happened. He's completely making things up.
I was with
he does
Larry
it all the
Flint
time.
at the White House.
Yeah.
And he
Something
said,
like that.
I'll hook you up. Now, if my uncle from the plains of Ontario said, I'll hook you up, he'd probably get you a nice mincemeat pie. But when Larry Flint says it,
Yeah.
something dirty.
Best.
Truly one of the best.
Is the First Lady a compulsive liar, though? It's beginning to look that way. In an interview on last night's 2020, intended to promote her new book, It Takes a Village, Mrs. Clinton folded under tough questioning by Barbara Walters and admitted that, in fact, it does not take a village, and furthermore, that she was aware that it does not take a village when she wrote the damn book. Meanwhile, President Clinton is hard at work on Tuesday's State of the Union address, in which he'll focus on crime, education, and the economy. At the request of the First Lady, part of the president's speech will be huge lies. More questions about Hillary Rodham Clinton's truthfulness. In an interview this week, the First Lady claimed that she won the women's 100-meter dash at the 1956 Olympics, and that she had an IQ of, quote, over 700. When it was pointed out to her that these were not especially good lies, Mrs. Clinton responded, "I know, I have a problem," and then added, "I invented the formula for 7-Up." In Whitewater news, federal regulators quizzed Hillary Clinton at the White House this week and gave her a perfect score on the lying section. She's a dirty liar. For years, Hillary Rodham Clinton has told people that she was named for the first man to climb Mount Everest, Sir Edmund Hillary. But as Esquire magazine recently pointed out, Sir Edmund did not climb Mount Everest until 1953, 6 years after Hillary was born. However, the First Lady does have a good explanation for the discrepancy. She loves to lie. A former Arkansas banker told the Senate Whitewater Committee this week that he gave Bill Clinton a $20,000 loan as a favor, even though it was, quote, unacceptable banking practice. In response, President Clinton stated that he has no recollection of such a loan, while First Lady Hillary Clinton said, "We've never even been to Arkansas." Our top story tonight comes from the O.J. Simpson civil trial, where this week it was revealed that in his first interview with police, Simpson had refused to take a lie detector test. His reason? It detects lies. Stephen J. Hawking, the renowned astrophysicist, regarded as Albert Einstein's intellectual successor, conceded defeat this week in a wager he made 6 years ago with 2 professors at the California Institute of Technology. Hawking incorrectly bet against the existence of naked singularities, the mathematical point in a black hole where space and time are infinitely distorted, where matter is infinitely dense, and where the rules of relativistic physics break down. With all due respect to Mr. Hawking, what the hell were you thinking? I would have taken that bet, made a quick $20. On Wednesday, world chess champion Garry Kasparov tied Deep Blue, the IBM supercomputer that can examine 200 million positions per second, in the 4th game of their 6-game series. Earlier in the week, Kasparov admitted he made a catastrophic blunder in Game 2 when he failed to force a draw by moving rook to E8, opting instead for a Caro-Can defense that soon transposed into a Pribble defense, which, after Deep Blue moved bishop to e7, gave him the advantage with his knight position. With all due respect to Mr. Kasparov, what the hell were you thinking?
But, you know, look, I know it's wrong to objectify women. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But in our sexual fantasies, I think we do, as men, objectify women, don't we? Like, I always think of Adele, like, down on her hands and knees with an apple in her mouth.
So, but that's better?
Better than what?
That's objectifying her.
Yes, I'm saying I think we do that as men.
Okay.
We objectify women, don't we?
Yeah.
What? Don't we? This Lindsay Lohan can't swim a stroke, but she sure knows every dive in town.
That one I liked. That was my favorite. I'm keeping this.
That is a favorite? Did you write this?
I didn't write that one. No,
Read that one. The guy who did the voice of Charlie Brown, he was arrested for stalking his girlfriend this week. He also said the next time Lucy grabs away the football, he's going to cut that bitch. A Swedish Bond girl, Britt Eklund, told Piers Morgan this week that she was seduced by Warren Beatty after the legendary Lothario took her to an X-rated movie for their first date. This is what I have to say about that. Hey, Warren, stop stealing my moves.
That's my favorite this week.
Tomorrow is National Secretary's Day.
Which is true.
Is that right? I plan on getting my secretary the same thing I always do. A big fat goosing.
Remember the good old days back when MILF stood for mentally ill ladies I'd like to fuck? That's right.
Huh. But I...
Well, listen to this. Catherine Zeta-Jones admitted she is bipolar. Half the time, she's deliriously happy, and the other time, she has to suck an old man's cock. That's dirty. Come on, man. Let's be...
I like hotels. They make your bed, make your dinner, send housekeepers up to watch you masturbate. It's a dream.
Come on, man. Miss Nevada is the new Miss USA. I now must apologize to Miss Delaware. I actually have nothing to do with the final decision, but I will treasure our evening together forever.
A study has found that men are just as likely as women to spread gossip. At least that's what I heard Rick tell Brad, who, by the way, has a crush on Patty.
Oh, does she? Listen, a new study finds that men are more likely to blame stress from work as a contributor to their poor mental health, while women are more likely to jabber on about something or other. You know, I'm happy to help out a friend, but the next time my roommate asks for help put in sunscreen, he better be talking about his back. Fool me once. The Statue of Liberty is setting a bad example for young women. When times get tough, you just can't stand motionless for centuries holding a torch. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but my left big toe is a neo-Nazi. Even worse, my big right toe believes that there should be a gender pay gap. Gender pay gap.
The twins' Joe Mauer has gone on the disabled list due to leg weakness. What is the cause of leg weakness? For the answer, let us go to sports show medical correspondent, the late Burgess Meredith.
Women weaken legs.
Just as I suspected. Thank you, late Burgess Meredith. The sister of San Francisco Giant catcher Buster Posey, Samantha, hit for a home run cycle, which consists of a solo, a 2-run, a 3-run homer, and a grand slam home run. This leads some to say that she might be better than her brother.
her brother, who doesn't get to hit against girls tossing a giant ball underhanded. Former Philadelphia Philly and suspected embezzler Lenny Dykstra hired a cleaning lady via Craigslist, but when the woman arrived at his home, Dykstra allegedly stripped naked and demanded that she give him a massage. I've got one thing to say to Lenny Dykstra. Hey, quit stealing my moves. Washington Redskins lineman Albert Hainsworth was arrested on sexual abuse charges this past week after being accused of sliding a credit card through a woman's cleavage. Is it just me? Or is everyone stealing my moves? Well, a Boston Red Sox sideline reporter recently did a story on food at ballparks. One thing she tried was a chicken and waffle sandwich, which she nearly choked on. Now, there's a video of this piece, but my staff has not had any luck finding it. So that means it is time to turn to the sports show computer. All right, excellent. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start out by searching woman gagging. Oh, 1 million results. How about that? Okay, let's see. Oh, well, my Lord. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. This is filthy. Okay, I can see I'm going to have to be a little more specific. Let me try woman gagging on meat. Well, there's 7 million results here. Whoa, holy Lord! There's all kinds of pictures coming up. None of these are right. Oh, people should not be doing this. How do I turn this thing off? Delete history. Wait, they're offering me a 3% mortgage. Okay, I deleted it, so that's off my computer forever?
Empty the cache.
Empty the what? I feel filthy just touching my dirty computer.
And the #1 book is The Rules. You know about this book?
I've heard stuff about it. Tell us about it.
It's The Rules. It's how to capture a man's heart. And it's for women. And it says all these rules that you have to follow, and you will capture a man's heart. And the rule #1, have huge breasts. Yeah, that guy likes it. Yeah.
Who do you think is attractive?
I like Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh, come on.
You don't like her?
Come on.
You don't like Anna Nicole Smith?
Come on, she's gotten heavy. He's putting me on.
No, I'm not.
I
saw a picture of her recently where she was really, really fat, where she didn't look good.
Right, but you're talking about years ago when she was thin. Oh, okay.
Not that long ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago.
So you like big breasts?
Yeah, I like big breasts.
Does your wife have big breasts?
She has normal size breasts.
What, C cups?
I don't know. I hear you talking about those. I don't follow those.
You're in bad shape. Do you like Sally Struthers too?
Oh, I did.
You did, right? Yeah, that's your type.
Oh my
like
God,
blonde
I
and
love
buxom.
Sally Struthers.
Not anymore though.
What?
Well, you don't like her anymore.
No, I don't like her with the flies around her.
It's kind of a turn off.
Newlyweds Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson had their first argument this week. He wants kids, while she wants fake kids. This week, Rampage Jackson talked to a reporter before UFC 130.
Black girls love me too, man. I get hit on by black girls all the time. I do like, oh, I be showing my nipple. I be doing my nipple dance. Black girls love me, man.
Wait, what? You do your nipple dance? I wonder what other techniques Rampage uses to woo the fairer sex.
Are you black?
Part, yeah.
I love all parts of you, even the black part. What other part are you?
I'm Jamaican, black and white.
She's just making me horny.
Wait, what? That line never works for me. I guess it worked for him. I don't know.
She's hot, ain't she? That's why I gave her the interview. She's hot.
Thank you, Rampage.
I want a motorboat right now.
Wait, what? That seems impossible. What? I don't know what to say about this. What do you think, Sad Bill Cosby? You don't care for that at all, Sad Bill Cosby? No. Atlanta Braves pitching coach Roger McDowell is accused of simulating sex with a baseball bat in front of children at a Braves-Giants game. The parents of the children hired attorney Gloria Allred, who held this press conference.
We'll also be doing a little demonstration of exactly what the coach did.
Wait, what? Wait. A demonstration? That's not a good idea. Aren't those the same girls? I'm no psychiatrist, but I have a feeling that this will remind these little girls of 2 days ago when that guy did it. Don't make them watch it again, Gloria Allred, please. I'm panicking for nothing. She's a lawyer. Of course she knows what she's doing. She'll figure out.
I think Justin and I can demonstrate what was done with the baseball bat. Okay, so Justin, you want to come forward here? And you want to put your fingers up the way he had them. Okay, so then it was like that, just going like that. Is that
right? Wait, what? Wait. What? How long does she keep bat sexing that guy's hand? That's... Oh, wait, what? No. Is this for the people who missed it the first time? No. Please. Look, I didn't go to law school, but I don't believe lawyers do this. Don't we have something with Gloria just talking?
The coach then allegedly said, "Are you three giving it to each other up the," and he used the word for, crude word for rear end.
Wait, what, rear end? Now Gloria's getting all demure. Rear end, not like earlier when she was, no, don't show it again. All right, enough, no more, wait, what, that's over with. If I've learned one thing this week, it's to be a lot more careful who I bat my hand in front of. Senator Bob Packwood said this week he favors reduced federal deficit over a tax cut. Then he added that in case anyone was curious, he prefers nice legs over large breasts. The much talked about film Showgirls opened this week, and here's my review. Basically a high-budget porno film, Showgirls is a thinly veiled excuse to show lots of naked buttocks, legs, and breasts. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 10. While Premiere Magazine's list of the 100 most powerful people in Hollywood hit the newsstands this month, in an odd bit of ranking, Demi Moore was ranked number 28, while her breasts were ranked 20 and 21. So, in an interview out this week, Demi Moore says she would like to have another baby, this time a boy, to go along with her 3 daughters and 2 huge breasts. Demi Moore is wrapped filming on G.I. Jane, in which she plays a Navy SEAL combat officer. Moore says that in contrast to other Hollywood portrayals of women in the military, her character will have giant breasts.
Actor Bruce Willis is filming his next movie, The Broadway Brawler, in Wilmington, Delaware. Meanwhile, his wife, Demi Moore, is taking a break from movie work, saying she wants to spend more time with her huge breasts.
Hey, you ever wonder where, like, I always like saying phrases.
Yeah, you definitely do.
That make me sound smart, like
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude?
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah, taking joy in other people's pain or misery.
Yeah. Post-sasso? Have you ever heard that term?
I feel like I've heard it once before.
Because I said it once on the term.
Yeah.
It suddenly came up that I could use the term post-sasso.
It's taken the nation by storm since then.
Check this out. You worked on Mad TV.
Yeah.
How long did you work on that?
I worked for 7 weeks.
That's it?
Yeah.
Was it the end of the run?
For me.
I mean, of the show?
It was like after a lot of those, I think after Will Sasso and some of those people left.
Post-Sasso.
Yeah. P.S.
This is the Twitter award for Best Hall of Famer. Going real well. At Albert Brooks. I installed a stripper pole outside my house. Haven't caught one yet. Steve Martin to go. OMG, President Lincoln has been shot. Wait, whoa, my internet connection is so low. At Alec Baldwin, how many friggin' times I gotta say it? 27, she's 27, geez. That's his girlfriend. At Al Yankovic, breaking news, Netflix splits off into a third company called Vernster, where you can rent nothing but Ernest P. Worrell movies for $5 a month. And at Norm Macdonald, rest in peace, Amy Winehouse. We lost a true heroin addict today.
Hey everybody, it's me, Norm. I couldn't be with you tonight because I'm on location in Spain, where I'm tweeting in Madrid, Spain. If that's a city that's in Spain, then that's where I am. And but I'd like to thank National Lampoon for the good people there. What did they do? They took a once great franchise and burned it asunder. So I'd like to thank them, and I'd like to thank everyone that helped me win this award. Except there aren't any, because it was just me and a computer. I would like to thank the computer. What else? Let me think. It's pretty cool, you know, how far technology has come. Like you people are probably saying right now, hey, look, Norm has hired an entire film crew in Spain, and now he has filmed himself at great expense and has sent the reels over to the United States, and now, but no, you could not be wronger. I am doing this on a telephone. What make you of that? I know, you're saying, hey, Norm, that cannot be right. A telephone is used for telephoning. People take a telephone and they telephone other people and they say, what time is it there? Where you are with your telephone, because it's not the same time here. But that is just the sort of Philistine pig ignorance I've come to expect of you animals. The fact is, welcome to the future. That's all I can say. Welcome to the future. And I myself love Twitter. I follow everybody, you know. I follow Shelby Firo, who, you know, who has her amusing
is angst a word? I've heard that word before. And I direct messaged her once. That's a true story. And she direct messaged me back. And it was either her or Chris Hansen. Who knows nowadays? But you can find anybody on Twitter. And I enjoy Eddie Pepitone and his tweets, which look to me to be the longest suicide note in history. But thank you for the award. And goddamn, I'm telegenic.